Hello students. So I just found out this mistake. That's not week 5, that's week 6. Alright. So what I'm going to talk about in this video, this quick video, is going to be the discussion board question for week 6, which talks about avocados and guacamole, right? So this is just an exercise to make you understand the magnitude of Avogadro's number, or the number that represents 1 mole of any item that you think of. Okay, so the problem says that one average avocado has a mass of, let's say, 170 grams. So if you go to Albertsons and you weigh one avocado, it might weigh a little bit more, it might weigh a little bit less, but we have to have an average in order to make this thought experiment. Okay, and now it says, let's assume you're making some guacamole. So guacamole will be 1 mole of avocados. So 1 mole of these items over here, right? Avocados. Remember that the mole can be, avocados, it can be molecules, it can be atoms, it can be nails, it can be pebbles, it can be whatever you want, right? A mole is a measurement, not a measurement, but a unit count. Okay, so just like you say 1 dozen of X, that's 12 X. 1 mole of X is going to be the Avogadro's number. Okay, so Avogadro's number, let me just give you this number over here, is going to be 6.0221 times 10 to the 23 items. Okay, so this number, this is what 1 mole represents, that many items. Okay, so if I have 1 mole of avocados, that's going to be 6.0221 times 10 to the 23 avocados. Okay, so I'm going to take the total mass of the avocado and I'm going to multiply it times Avogadro's number. This is going to tell me what's the mass of this whole guacamole, right? Or the 1 mole of avocados. 170 grams per every avocado, and I have this huge number of avocados to work with. Okay, so the result of doing this multiplication, if you do it in your calculator, is going to be 1.02 times 10 to the 26 grams. And I'm not going to call this avocado anymore, I'm going to call it guacamole, right? So that's how many grams of guacamole we have. Do you have any idea of how large this number is? Well, we'll see. But first, let's go ahead and convert it to kilograms, because the question is asking what will be the mass in kilograms of this guacamole, right? So I'm going to take this number, 1.02 times 10 to the power of 26 grams of guac. I'm going to do some dimensional analysis here. Okay, so in order to eliminate grams of guac, I have to have those same units in the bottom, and on the top I have to have the desired units, kilograms of guac. Okay, so what's the relationship between kilograms and grams? So 1 kilogram is the same as 1000 grams of whatever we're talking about. Okay, at this point, grams of guac cancels out, and all I have left over is kilograms. So you're going to divide 1.02 times 10 to the 26 divided by 1000. So let's go ahead and do that operation, and the result should be 1.02. You can do this on your calculator, times 10 to the power of 23. And this is going to be kilograms of guac. Now, just so that you get an idea of what this number is, I'm going to write it in normal notation. This is scientific notation. Okay, so that's going to be 102. That's moving the decimal point 2 places. And I still need 21 more zeros in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't think I'm going to have enough space in here. 18. I don't have enough space to write all of those numbers. So let me just move this over here. And how many more zeros do I have left in here? I believe so, right? So it's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. So this is how many kilograms I'm gonna have of guacamole if I take 1 mole of avocados and I mash them up together, right? So that's the first question, or the answer to the first question. And then it says, supposing that you have to feed this to the whole world, assuming the world population is going to be 7.2 billion people. Right? This is a statistic from a couple of years ago, but that's fine. Okay, so we have to give all of this guac to every person in the world. right? So I'm going to do a quick operation in here, which is a 1.02 times 10 to the 23 kilograms of guac. I'm going to divide that by the total population of the world, which is 7.2 billion, or 7.2 times 10 to the power of 9 people, right? That's how many people is in the world population. So if I divide that, the result is going to tell me how many kilograms of guac per person, right? So let's go ahead and do that division. And the result is going to be, using your calculator, 1.42 times 10 to the power of 13. And this is kilograms per person, right? So every person is going to get this amount of avocado if we distribute this whole guacamole into the whole world. Okay, and just so that you get an idea of this, right, what this number is, that's 142. That's moving the decimal point 2 places, and I still need 11 zeros, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 zeros. So we're talking about this amount of kilograms of avocado per person. Is this, you can start thinking about it right now, right? Is this too much? Is this too little? Right? So the last question is how many kilograms is everybody going to receive? We have this number already here. And it says, how long do you think the guacamole is going to last? Assuming that this is not going to go bad. So I don't give you any more information in here, right? But you can look up the average food consumption worldwide, or in the US, at least in the US, right? And if you look up this number, the average food consumption in the US, it's about 905 kilograms of food per year. So every year, an average food consumption of the American citizen is 905 kilograms. Okay, so let's do another division. I'm going to take the whole amount of kilograms per person. That's going to be 1.42 times 10 to the power of 13, this number over here, kilograms per person. And I'm going to divide this by the total, or the average food consumption in the US. Okay, so if you do dimensional analysis, these kilograms are going to, or if you cancel units, right, the kilograms are going to cancel out, and these two other units are going to flip, right? So years are going to be in the top, and persons or people is going to be in the bottom. So I'm going to do that division, and the result is 1.57 times 10 to the power of 10 years per person. So every person in the world, let me just write this number again as a normal notation. That's 157, and I need 8 more zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Every person in the world can eat 15 billion 700 million years of avocado or guacamole, right? Every person in the world. It would take just 1 mole of avocados and make guacamole. So can you think about how large this avocados number is? I'm going to go back. How large is this number, right? So because this number is very large, you can you know that the atoms are really, really, really small. Because in 1 mole, which for example of carbon, that's 12 grams. In 12 grams of carbon, there's this many carbon atoms, right? There's this many carbon atoms. So that is a huge number, a huge number. That's why I'm putting the avocados in perspective, because we see one avocado, we know the mass more or less of an avocado. So if we multiply this times 6.02 21 times 10 to 23, that's 1 mole of avocados. This is a huge amount of avocados. Okay. So I already gave you the answer. So for the discussion question, I want you guys to let me know what you think, right? Let me know what you think about, this huge number, and what would you do with all of this guacamole, right? So if you have any other questions, just go ahead and let me know, and I can work those out. Remember that you have the final exam to be done today, and your grade is going to be posted sometime between today and tomorrow afternoon. Okay.